What's up, everybody? Shoe Talk, Indianapolis Colts show. We'll talk a bit about for the first time this season. We get to talk about a big Colts win. Now we're 1-1-1, which is such a weird record to be after 3 games. But, I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by my dad, Tony Gonzalez. How's it going tonight, Dad?
Going pretty good. Got to win, so that's always a good thing, and especially playing a team that you didn't know if you're going to. After that last game, didn't know what to expect. They stepped up, especially the defense. Got a big victory.
What's up, DJ Hybe? Says go Colts, let's go. Glenn Richardson, happy Victory Monday, guys. Yeah, it's I would say it's kind of a surprise victory, but in a way, I wasn't surprised either. We had talked on Saturday, we done that collaboration show with the Kansas City Chiefs show, Red Kingdom, with Greg Broderick, and we had talked on there that the Colts had a path to victory. It was just whether they'd be able to execute that path. But honestly, the way our path to victory, it really didn't line. It didn't line up completely with what happened yesterday because we both said we had to run the ball. We didn't get the running game that we thought we would, but we were able to control the time of possession. But our key was the defense had to play a lot more physical, and the defense stepped up in a big way yesterday. I mean, to hold the Chiefs to only 17 points. I mean, and I've heard a lot of people today wanting to say, "Oh, the Chiefs didn't show up." It was more the Chiefs beat themselves. Well, a win's a win. You can look at how you want, but the Colts defense, they forced the Chiefs into some of their mistakes.
You can say whatever you want. I mean, Coach tied Jacksonville.
Texans.
Yeah, Texans. Excuse me. Tied Texans, and we can say all we want. That, they should have won the game. Should have won the game. Yeah. And just like say Kansas City, they made decisions that I think was kind of crazy, especially that field goal, the fake field goal, don't make sense to me. Kind of like Mahomes on your team, all fourth and stuff, they might say it's Mahomes. And so I didn't understand that. But hey, I'll take it. And the coach played well. So people they give it to him. The coach played well, held him to 0 points in the second half. That tells you something right there. And the wide receiver stepped up. Even though we didn't run the ball except for about 80 yards, we did get like 7 or 8 catches from our running backs for another 40 or 50. So that kind of helped out. But our offensive line has got to play better because Ryan still had troubles back there. And if our offensive line don't get better, it still could be a long season.
Oh yeah, offensive line. Yeah, offensive line still didn't play great because he got sacked. Was it 5 more times? I think it was 4
or 5.
4 or 5
times. Got strip sacked twice. We recovered one of them, but the other one was a big play that at the end of the first half that ended up in a touchdown for Kansas City. So our defense played really well. A big victory, and we got a big game coming up now. Don't stop. We got Tennessee. It's a division game. We need a big victory there.
Oh yeah, we can't afford to lose another division game, especially after we've lost one and tied one already.
And I know we played really bad against Jacksonville, but Jacksonville come back and destroyed San Diego and proved themselves. And Jacksonville may be a lot better, than we thought. So I mean, I know we played terrible. I mean, but you still got to give Jacksonville credit. I mean, they were on the other side of the ball, and they killed us. So
yeah. No, I think Jacksonville's going to be better than what are better than what a lot of us thought. But I also think that the Colts could play the Jacksonville a lot better than what we did last time. I think we'd be. I mean, I think we're capable of beating Jacksonville, but you're not going to beat nobody getting blown off the line of scrimmage like we did that week. This week, or like I said, our offensive line didn't still play great, but our defensive line played a hell of a lot better than what they had played the week before.
It's like on that show you was talking about, that show we did with the Colts in Kansas City. We was talking about who we thought the three best teams probably in football was probably Kansas City, the Chargers, and
5 times the amount of Booker T's WC title rates.
What was the other one? Buffalo. All 3 lost. So that tells you in the NFL,
Yeah.
I think a couple teams, and they're going to say, well, they didn't play that well. They didn't score any points. A couple teams I think people have to look out for. And even though they're in the NFC, is going to be Tampa Bay and Green Bay. Their offenses are going to get better than what they are right now.
Yes.
And if their offenses, the receiver, for one thing, Tampa Bay gets healthy, that's going to make a big difference. And if Green Bay receivers get used to Rodgers and Rodgers get used to them, they're going to get better. So both those teams could be dangerous. Definitely the Eagles are dangerous right now, but we'll see. It's a long season. Uh, Hopefully, Colts can stay healthy. I think if they stay healthy, I think they'll get in the playoffs, and that's the main thing. Get in the playoffs and then see what you can do.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because once you get in the playoffs, anything can happen. I mean, we saw that 1 year what was Seattle 8-9 or 9-8 and made the playoffs and went on the
The
run.
year the Colts won it was not the year that we thought they was going to win it.
Oh no, yeah, back in 06 when we won the Super Bowl. No,
Nobody picked the Colts to win that year.
yeah, we gave up 350 yards rushing just a few weeks before the playoffs to Jacksonville and MJD, which Jones Drew. He was a Colts killer.
Yeah, he was, definitely.
I hated when we went, especially in Jacksonville. Every time we went to Jacksonville, he always. I mean, he got big games in Indianapolis as well. Don't get me wrong, but in Jacksonville, he always killed us.
Yeah, the wide receiving court stepped up. The tight end stepped up. Still like we'll see a little bit more production out of the tight ends, especially Cox.
Yes.
Mo Cox, but
how's it going, drunk? Yeah, Colts did look good. I didn't get to, like I said, I didn't get to watch the game live. I've seen a lot of the highlights and went back and watched some stuff, but because it looked a lot better than what they did against Jacksonville. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there's not room for improvement because there definitely is,
especially on the offensive line. Our defense played a great game.
He said CBS forced me to watch the game, but it was a good one.
The defense played a great game, and the receivers played a lot better. But again, I mean, Kansas City, and I'm not trying to put nobody down. Kansas City's not a great defense. They're probably middle of the road defense, probably.
Yeah.
Usually. So, and played real well. We're just fortunate that we didn't have more turnovers and a lot of people blaming Ryan. You got to hang on to the ball. Well, you got to have time.
And when you're getting hit from blind side, sometimes, I mean, it's going to happen.
Oh, definitely.
And Glenn, that's a good point. I don't know if it's that bad yet, but it is starting to look like a Ryan Griggs an offensive line. We're going, and it don't make a whole lot of sense because our offensive line, if you look at it,
a lot of money.
Yeah, that's where most of our money is spent at. I mean,
but which side is the questionable side? The right side?
Well, right now it's the right and the left. Because you had Costanzo. A lot of people are blaming on the right side on Pinter. But you have a young guy that took over for Costanzo. I think he's doing pretty good. But if you look, I mean, to me, it's been last 2 weeks we haven't been able to run the ball, and then Ryan's been the last couple of weeks. He hasn't had much time back there to get rid of the ball. First the offensive line played pretty good. We just made mistakes that made us tie that game.
Well, he did get a lot of pressure on him even in the first game.
Well, yeah, not as much in the first half, but in the second half of that game, yeah, you're right. But so they have to shore up the offensive line, or it could be a long season because people wanted to blame it all on Matt Ryan, wanted to say he's washed up. If you look at his numbers, he hasn't put up bad numbers. It just wasn't leading to scores. But Mo Alley Cox has to step up. We have to get more out of our tight ends. Hopefully, this Jelani Woods keeps his progression. Dude has two. Now he has two. He makes his first 2 catches in the NFL yesterday, and they were both touchdowns. And then I was reading the stat he had caught. His first pass that he caught in the preseason was also a touchdown.
And he's a pretty big guy. He's a big target. He was open. It looked like he wouldn't have no problem getting open. So I mean that's good. Pierce had a good game. I think he's going to get comfortable. I know that Ryan and also what's his name? The old receiver that's the wide receiver coach.
Reggie Wayne.
Reggie Wayne's really high on him. I know Matt Ryan said he's a good player, but he thinks he's going to be a superstar, going to be a star in this league. So, it just needs time. I mean,
yeah, and Well, and then when we also had a tight end Ogletree that they were real high on that got hurt.
Yeah, they were real high on him.
Drunk said our secondary looked amazing. Yeah, secondary played real well yesterday. They finally played some press coverage instead of that soft drop back coverage that they played the first two, especially against Jacksonville. But they even played a lot of it against the Texans. Glenn, I think I saw somewhere that Matt Ryan's pocket time from snap to throw was like 1.8 seconds.
You got to have at least 3. At
Yeah.
least.
And like he said, that's not good unless you're killing it on quick slants all day. And we don't have the talent at receiver right now to try to kill it on quick slants because you can't depend on them to
And
get inside position
most of the time
and win.
Most of the time he's been intercepted, as he's tried to force the ball into something that's not open. I mean, trying to throw it 2-3 guys on a guy and you're trying to get it there. And that one game he was way behind and he was just trying anything.
Yeah.
So I don't, the fumble thing. Like I said, when you get hit blindside, it's hard. We've had some trouble with some snaps. That'll be something to get fixed. Just hopefully the offensive line gets fixed and can. I mean, you're never going to stop getting sacks. You're going to get sacked sometime, but we got to get more. That game, the last game, not the Kansas City game. I mean, it didn't. I mean, he had maybe 2 passes that were he wasn't pressured.
Yeah.
Other than that, he was hit, knocked down, tackled. It just he got destroyed that game, and got to play a lot better than that if we're going to do anything.
Oh yeah, you got to play a lot better than that. You're right. There was a lot of times where you're just if he's getting blown up, there ain't nothing you can do, and that's what we were in the problems like Glenn mentioned with Grixon when we had Andrew Luck that's what we ran into problems with him. We couldn't protect him and keep him upright.
There's a lot of teams,
and it don't matter how good a quarterback you have if you keep him upright.
Well, we've seen. I watched a lot of highlights today on the Chargers. Herbert's a good quarterback, young quarterback. He's beat up, and his offensive line can't protect him, and he's already beat up. So I mean, you see how bad they got beat by Jacksonville, and you know that the Chargers are a lot better team than that. I mean, I'm not saying that Jacksonville's not good. Jacksonville may prove off to be a Super Bowl team now. Who knows? I mean, they're playing really well. They got a good offensive scheme right now. Their defense is playing well. I mean, just got to see. You never know.
Oh yeah, you never know. But one thing I did like, and that's kind of like what Drunken said, was the way the secondary played. Our defense finally looked aggressive. But I am going to say this though. If Shaquille Leonard don't play this week, I'm gonna be mad. Did you see him running up and down that sideline and jumping up and down? And
I don't know what's going on with that. Sure, I mean, there's got to be a reason. Well, maybe they just decided, man, we're not going to play the guy till he's completely healthy. I mean, he's played a lot injured, and maybe that's what they're making the decision on. That hey, we're planning on being in the playoffs, and we need this guy healthy. But I know Franklin had one hell of a game.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's his replacement or the normal linebacker, but he had a great game.
Yeah, I forget how many tackles he had because you had said yesterday.
8 tackles.
Man, he was everywhere.
4 assists and 8 tackles. He was everywhere. Had a heck of a game. And
well, I know they showed the highlights and of some of the defensive highlights last night and this morning as well. And it was Franklin. You saw Franklin. You saw Franklin everywhere.
And I'll tell you, I mean, a lot of people talk, and I've seen him play. Ball was thrown a little bit behind him on Kelsey and in end zone, and he didn't catch it. And that's usually a catch he would make. But so just your defense putting pressure your home can cause that kind of stuff too.
Yes.
And big win for the Colts. A big victory. I mean, want to win all your home games if you can. And I think most people didn't think against Kansas City. So.
Oh no. Most people, hell, most of these guys on these TV shows and on TV were already counting the Colts as well. The one guy said 0-3, but he messed up because of the tie. But yeah, we're basically counting us as 0-2-1, 0-2-1 already. Wasn't hardly nobody giving the Colts a chance. And then you hear some of these guys, well, I thought the Colts had a chance because I had them going to the playoffs at the beginning here. Well, that ain't what you were saying last week, but going into this game. All you guys were talking about was that basically the Colts were going to get off to a 0-2-1 start. And like I said, was I 80, 90% sure?
No,
I mean, you never real. I mean, you can be confident going in the game, but no. But and
I
like I
would.
said on that show Saturday, I see a path to a victory, but can we execute it? Because we hadn't played that kind of defense yet this
Yeah,
season,
I
and it
was.
worried me with no Leonard.
I was confident that we was going to bounce back and play better.
Yeah, I thought we'd play better being our home opener.
Home opener and had a lot to prove because of the bad, how bad we played. But I'm not going to sit here and say I was confident that we are going to win the game. I mean, I
Yeah.
hoped and do I think I'm still I feel a lot better about our receivers right now. I'm worried about the offensive line. I feel like we definitely took a big step in the right direction with our receivers. Uh, I've got a lot of faith in our running backs.
Yes.
The other thing, we talked about was time of possession. We control the time of possession. That was a big thing.
And we said we needed to hold them under 24 to 25 points,
Yep.
and holding them under 20,
Yeah. So,
which I think,
but I think our offense will get more comfortable. We'll start scoring, more points. I'm not saying we're going to score no 30 points a game, but I feel comfortable with 21, 24 points a game. And if we're
Yeah.
capable of holding teams like Kansas City down to 17, we should be in most of our games.
oh
and
yeah,
have a good chance
should
to
be in a
win.
lot of games. And if we can, and I think our offense is going to get better as the season goes on too, because I think I'm hoping because some of these younger receivers are going to get more comfortable. Like Pierce, he had the best game he's had of the season. You know what I mean? See, and Woods making some plays where what, and I know it's not an excuse because some of these guys are young, but when you're young like that, sometimes you're thinking more, and as you get to play some games, you start playing faster, and hopefully that'll help our receiver and maybe some of them young tight ends, where we start playing faster because we're not out there thinking. Glenn says Shaq was at every game at Greenbridge for the feeder before he moved after Memorial, and gets that surgery quite late. Yeah, he had the surgery quite late. It was just weird to me because they took him off the physically unable to perform list, and they keep saying that he's a participant in practice. So it's like, come on, let's get him back on there. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Blake Money? Right?
Right.
So the Colts are okay. O line will shape out. Yeah, if this O line shapes out, only other thing that worries me is our receivers a little bit. Ryan will keep getting better, and yeah, when Shaq comes back, that's definitely going to be a big difference maker on the defense.
The key's offensive line, right?
Yeah.
If he's only averaging 1 point second and a half to throw the ball, we're going to struggle. Yeah. He's got to have more time. He's not that type of quarterback.
And not only Ryan to get Jonathan Taylor going again. Yeah. Because I mean Taylor hasn't ran the ball like Taylor the last couple of games.
But you got to give defenses some credit.
Yeah, because they're going to key on the run.
Whether or not they're going to key on the run, and especially in that Jacksonville game, we got knocked off the ball on both sides. We just got, they just did. They manhandled us on both sides of the ball. Hopefully that don't happen again.
But yeah, but the O line gets better, I think, and then Kill Leonard coming back. If our defense can play the way they did yesterday without Leonard, and you get physical like that, and you start playing and Franklin making plays, and you add Leonard, who's one of the best linebackers in the league, if not the best linebacker in the league, to back in there with Buckner, that's going to make a big difference for the Colts defense. But the offensive line, they got to figure out something. I know a lot of people willing to blame it all on Penner. I didn't get to watch all the game, but I heard the Colts analysts there on the Indianapolis radio station on our way home yesterday. A couple former Colts players, Brooks, and I forget the other guy's name, but they were saying they didn't feel like you just put it on one guy. They thought that all of them need to get better at pass protection at this point in the season. Yep. Jay says he feels like the Colts won the game because Mahomes and Bieniemy weren't on the same page.
One play. I mean, they had a disagreement on second down and 40,
and then
whatever it was, 30, second down 20, whatever it was. I don't think that's an issue. If anything, whoever made the call on that field goal, the fake field goal, I don't understand.
Yeah,
you got Patrick Mahomes on your team, one of the best quarterbacks in football, and you want to try to
go up for it on fourth down,
try a fake field goal on fourth down. Yeah, put
Mahomes
on the field.
If you're gonna go for it on fourth down, why would you take Mahomes off the
Yeah,
field?
I didn't understand that call. I mean,
I'll take it.
yeah,
Blake Money, right? It would be nice if we can get a trade for a veteran wide receiver. Yeah, would be nice if we could add a veteran. I was surprised they didn't add somebody in the offseason. I really thought they would. I thought they would go after Julio Jones, which Julio is hurt right
yeah,
now.
he's hurt already again, so
So,
he's missed 2
but
games.
I still wouldn't be surprised if they don't make a run. Maybe try to get OBJ here later in the season once everybody knows he's completely healthy and ready to go. I could see maybe them trying to add a veteran like that in with these young guys and
Well, you know the other team is going to go after him. Tampa Bay's going to go after him. I guarantee Tampa Bay's going to make a run at him.
and Buffalo is a spot a lot of people think he's going to end up because of Von Miller. Because Von Miller's always talking about OBJ, so they think he might go there. Yeah, you're right. It was Joe Wrights. That's who the other guy on the radio was.
The one thing about Buffalo, you mentioned them. I don't understand why they did not strengthen the running game.
Well, that's cool. Blakeman Wright said, fun fact, he played football with Joe Wright at him Southeastern.
Yeah, I do not understand Buffalo not going out and getting a running back.
Jay said, Tony, is that a new haircut? It looks amazing.
No, it's not.
Blake Money Wright said that he would love OBJ. I'm at this point. I think he's about the best one out there that you can maybe make a run after, and you wouldn't have to make a trade for him, unless you can pull off some kind of a trade. But like free agent wise, he's probably the best veteran out that's available right now. And I ain't gonna lie, maybe in his younger days, I wouldn't have said that I would be cool with OBJ coming to Indianapolis because just some of the Xanax he used to pull. But look how he went to the Rams last year and was able to contribute, didn't cause problems. I think he's at a different point in his career now,
maybe
as well. So
winning does
that too. But the Rams didn't have. I mean, yeah, they won the Super Bowl, but they had some ups and downs during that season last year.
They did.
And I still think if the Colts offensive line can get fixed and we get Leonard back, that we can compete with about anybody in the league when we play up to our potential. Now, are we going to have as big a room as air as some of these other teams? Probably not, just because we have a lot of young players playing. So we're not going to be able to overcome a bunch of turnovers and a lot of mistakes. So we have to cut back stay low on penalties. We got to get Taylor running the ball again, which offensive line starting playing better, and offensive line, the pass protection gets better, gives Ryan time, and we're able to throw the ball. That's going to help open up the run game because they're not going to be able just to key on the run as much.
If we're running the ball successfully, that's going to help play action too.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying that it can help open up our pass game can help open up the run game too, because you can get one of them guys out of the box. Because now if they have to start respecting that we can throw the ball some, and I don't think nobody really did yet because like I said, the offensive line hasn't played real great. But no, like I said, it'd been nice to be able to watch the game yesterday especially after we end up getting a big win. But after sitting through the first 2 games of the season, but like you said, matchup because it's another division game as we play the Tennessee Titans, and it's a game really to me it's almost a must win because you've already tied one division game and lost one division game.
Yeah, we need to win.
I know you haven't played the Titans yet, and you play them twice, but you got to start piling up some of these division wins.
Henry had a big game the last game, so sounds like he's found it again. After a couple games of not being.
I figured he'd have a pretty good game though after only having 22 yards the game before.
Yeah, he had a big day. So
I think that's going to help us. We are at home again, so that's nice. Get another home game. Hopefully, we can get a division win, and we go on the road again for one game for a Thursday night game against the Broncos, and then we come back and play Jacksonville at home. And then go on the road and play the Titans. So I mean, these next 4 games, 3 of them are division games. So I mean, we need to win those 3 division games. Especially, you don't want to fall 0-2 to Jacksonville.
And that's a team that a lot of people are giving a hard time to is Denver, but aren't they 2-1?
Yeah,
They're 2-1, and I know they haven't looked great, but the defenses look pretty good.
Oh, the defenses look real
But
good.
I mean, give that a little time to get that offense together. They could be a dangerous team.
Yeah, it's a new system. I mean,
New system, new quarterback, new coach, everything, a lot of new stuff there. So I mean, if they get to that middle point of the season and can have 5 or 6 wins, they could be a dangerous team.
Colts and Titans is a 1 o'clock game this Sunday. Like I said, we can't lose. Yeah, I mean, it's too early in the season to say the season be over, but to me, it's a big game because you only get some of these division games, and the AFC's tough. NFC's not as tough as the AFC this year. So winning your division is a big deal to try to get. Then you're guaranteed to get in the playoffs because who knows what kind of record you're going to have to get to get one of these wild card spots.
And everybody wants to say the South is weak, and on paper, yeah, but then look what happened. Look what happened yesterday. I mean, we had 3 games against what was supposed to be the best division in AFC, and the South won all 3 of them. So
yeah, 3 AFC South teams played 3 West teams, and we won all 3 of them. Well, I thought Jacksonville would be better, but I think Jacksonville's playing a lot better than anybody thought they would. The Texans are playing better than what I know they lost yesterday, but I'm not saying they're a great team, but they're a more competitive team than I think what people was giving them credit of going to be. Then Tennessee bounced back with a big win that they desperately needed. Which I mean, I knew Tennessee was better than what they had played the first 2 games. I mean, they lost. It wasn't like they lost all their players. They still had a lot of talent on that team. They have to get it going, and they just got dominated on kind of like we did off the line of scrimmage. That's what happened to them their last game when who was it? Was it Buffalo they played? And Henry was on to get like 22 yards. They just got dominated. You got dominated on the line of scrimmage, and like we've said a lot over the last few weeks, if you get 95% wins the line of scrimmage, offensively and defensively, is going to win the game.
And, well, I tell you, it's weird because that's true, but we Buffalo this week had over 550 yards total offense. Miami had like 230 yards of offense, and Buffalo loses the game and only scores like 19 points. It's crazy because
Oh, hey, yeah, Blake, you're more than welcome to. Hey, we do this show every Monday and Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, and then we also do live watch-alongs for the Colts games, unless we're at one of the wrestling shows. But yeah, you're more welcome to come on with us sometime. Just get with me and we'll get it scheduled. Yeah. And Jay says, given how well Jacksonville played Chargers, how will you fare next go around against them? I think we'll have it. I think we'll have a great chance against them if our offensive line keeps improving, because our defense. I don't think our defense is going to get blown off the line of scrimmage as bad as we did that first game. I'm not saying that we're just going to dominate them, but I think we'll be more competitive.
Well, I mean,
and that was one of them. Sometimes you have a game where you just don't show up, and I think that was a game where we just didn't show up at all. I'm not saying if we just showed up, we automatically win that game, but I think it's a more competitive game.
Well, let's look on paper. Look at position. Kansas City's a better, at least on paper, you would think Kansas City's a better team than Jacksonville. It may not turn out to be that way, but who knows? But I mean, on paper, people would say that Kansas City's receivers are better than tight end, especially with him, are a better receiving core. Running back's probably a wash, but the quarterback position, you got to give the edge to Kansas City. I mean, you got a proven commodity there, even though I think that Jacksonville's quarterback is going to be a pretty great quarterback in his own right someday. So, but yeah, I mean,
and look how many people counted him out after last season that he was going to be a bust. And I've always believed in Trevor Lawrence. Thought he's going to be real good. Didn't have much talent around. Didn't have a good team. Had a coach that honestly wasn't prepared to be in the NFL. And then you have all that stuff going on, and you're a rookie. That makes it tough. Now he's with a guy in Peterson that has worked with young quarterbacks before, knows what he's doing. I mean, look what he done with Wentz. He had a Wentz playing at an MVP level before Wentz got hurt, and Wentz's career hasn't been the same since he got hurt.
Peterson knows how to game plan.
Yeah.
I mean, he game planned for the Colts. Look what happened. He game planned for the Chargers. Look what happened. So, I mean, you got to give him a lot of credit.
I'll be honest. I thought Jacksonville would be competitive against the Chargers. I didn't think they'd win the game. I thought they'd be competitive, but I never thought they would. They were going to beat them 31-10, beat them dominate them like they did.
No, I didn't.
But I also didn't think Jacksonville would dominate the Colts, shut the Colts out. I mean, you never know what's going to happen in a football game, especially this season. I saw today that I forget exactly how many three-point or games have ended in 3 points or less difference. Forget exact number, but this season it's been the record, NFL record this season.
What about that statistic we seen last night about the Chargers? Pretty telling thing.
Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo. Excuse me. About Buffalo, that since in the last year and a half, any game that's been within 8 points, they've lost.
They were 0-7.
0-7 or 0-8.
Yep.
And that was a surprising statistic. So if they basically, I don't want to say a blowout, but that's almost considered a blowout, 8 or 9 point win. If they're not beating teams that way, they lose.
I mean, 8 points still. 8 points a single possession, but still.
You know, that's the crazy stat. You know, if they can't start winning close games, they're not going to win a Super Bowl.
Says Julio is expected to return Sunday versus the Chiefs. Sidelined 2 games with a partially torn ligament in his knee. If you have a partially torn ligament in your knee, how you're only out 2 weeks?
I don't know.
If you're only out 2 weeks, coming back and tearing it more. If
it must have been. That's it.
But what do you think that the keys for the Colts are going to be to win this game against the Titans on Sunday? I know we'll break it down a lot more on Friday's show as we get closer to Sunday. But
gotta control the line of scrimmage. I mean, that's if Ryan don't have time to, if we don't run the football and Ryan don't have time to throw, the young receivers are going to struggle. So I mean, you know, I think we got to control the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and we got to stop the run.
Yeah,
because you got
on both sides of the ball, we got to control the line of scrimmage.
Tennessee don't have a great. I mean, I don't want to say great. They don't have a true number one receiver, kind of like what the Colts are.
Yeah, they let
Colts. They're kind of the same that receiver position, kind of the same position as the Colts. So you want to make Tannehill have to throw the ball to beat you. You can't let Derrick Henry just keep running and running and running. Let them run the ball down your throat. Or it's going to be a long day. But you got to make Tannehill throw the ball to beat you. And if he's able to throw the ball and beat you, hey, okay, you got to tip your hat off to him. But that, to me, that has to be our defensive game plan: is make them throw the ball to beat us. And hopefully our secondary plays like they did yesterday, and we'll have a great chance. Because if you let them run the ball, for one, time of possession, and so we got defense has to get off the field on third down and you can't let Derrick Henry be the guy that beats you.
I think we'll run the ball better against Tennessee. I really do. The thing is, can we slow down their run? So I agree.
Glenn says that's dangerous. That might tear more in that knee. Same thing happened with Victor Oladipo, and man blew his quad after a small tear. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That
yeah, I mean, if it takes, I can't believe it's healed in 2 weeks. So why not leave him out for? I mean, I know you need receivers back, but they're going to have the one guy back. That was only 1 game suspension.
Yeah.
So Evans will be back. Game, I can't think of his name right now, but he had a big game at the receiver. Not the only receiver they had, but he had a big game. I wouldn't rush him Jones out another couple of weeks if you can. If any way you can, I'd keep him out and get him healthy because he played really well that first game.
Opening up, the Colts are 3.5 point favorites at home against Tennessee. That sounds about.
I bet you goes down to 3.
Think it goes down to 3?
Yeah.
Now, I'll be honest, if I was going to bet money on, if it went down to 3, I would definitely take the Colts in the 3 points. Not saying I don't think they'll win by more than 3, but if just betting wise, giving up that half point, if you can get, then that at least leaves a chance for a push.
Yeah.
Where if you give up that half point, which I hope the Colts win by a touchdown. Hey, I did get lucky this weekend because on Saturday show there with Red Kingdom, when we gave our final prediction, my final prediction was Colts winning the game 20-17. So I was, and I ain't gonna lie, I was surprised as hell that was 2017. But I told Greg that day, I said, and the way I figured we'll get our 20 points is hopefully 2 touchdown runs by Taylor, and then I figure we'll add on a couple field goals. Well, Taylor didn't get no touchdown runs, but it was two touchdowns, but it was to our tight end. And tell you what, and I know it's easy to sound confident after you have a big game, but listening to him yesterday on the radio, but not about how he played that game, but just how, like he was saying, that he's starting to see things faster. He's starting to get more comfortable, and with where he's not having to think as much. I think that's big, and I think that's what hurt Pierce that first game. You're overthinking stuff, and you drop a touchdown pass, and then that just makes you overthink stuff more. Then you drop another one you should have caught.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Then you get in your own head. So that's what I like about him, because he missed the next game. And then for him to come back yesterday and have a pretty good game, I really like that.
He made a couple pretty good catches.
Yes.
I mean,
but Mo Alley Cox, to me, has been disappointing so far this season. Man, he's so athletic. I think he has a lot of potential at tight end, but for some reason, it's just not coming. And it might be because of the pass protection right now. I'm sure it has something to do with it, because it's hard for Ryan to go through progressions. But you would think that with our young receivers that we'd be trying to get our tight ends the ball more. Which Cox can have some trouble. He can have some trouble dropping ball. I think Ogletree. I think losing Ogletree hurt their plans at tight end quite a bit. I think they had plans for him, maybe to be the number one tight end, but I think that they thought he might be the number by the end of the season.
I think Woods may turn out to be. I mean, he may not be that possession receiver, but he may end up being a big key down there in the end zone.
Oh yeah,
he's a big target. He's got good hands. I'm expecting him maybe end up with 7, 8, 9 touchdowns. Be a good rookie season, maybe more.
Yeah, I know when Ogletree got hurt, they had said that Woods stepped up and was looking real good, and that they really expected some big things out of him, and that he was going to get more opportunities. And I don't know how like what the play breakdown that he played in the first couple games, because I know you didn't see him much.
Yeah,
but he got a lot more playing time yesterday, and he took advantage of it. Because even that touchdown pass he caught at to win the game, it wasn't like it was just a wide open throw either. I mean, it was in some traffic, and it's a pressure play, because there's 20 seconds left in the game.
24 seconds left in the game when he caught.
And that was the other thing that was great about that last drive. You have a 16-17 play drive and eat almost 9 minutes off the clock.
Yep.
And you didn't leave Kansas City a whole lot of time.
No, it did not.
Don't get me wrong, 24 seconds with that offense can feel like an eternity, and then you're able to get a deflect. Gilmore's able to deflect the ball, and then you get that interception. But especially when you're on it, all they need is a field goal to tie. So you don't want to get. It'd been nice, like that announcer said when we was listening to the game during the intermission. Run it. He said the perfect thing would be to score 1 second left on the clock,
yes.
or 0. Score right at. The main thing is you have to score, and you had to have a touchdown, and you wouldn't have had to have a touchdown if maybe you don't give up that sack fumble toward the end of the first half. And I think the Colts had a chance to score. They had a chance to score and another time.
We did, but that was big for Kansas City. They got that touchdown right there in the first half off that because of that fumble. Billy, pretty. You don't get that fumble at that. They scored right away off that. We only give up 10 points though.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Kansas City helped us out. They had that fumble early in the game. and we scored pretty quick off of that. So that
And
was
then
a
the
big
big,
help.
and then the big unsportsmanlike penalty on that last drive. I'd like to know why he said.
Neither Ryan or the player will say what was said.
Yeah, yeah,
So pretty bad.
yeah. During an interview on the radio yesterday, Matt Ryan, when they were at their press conference, he wouldn't say what was said, but for the referee to throw a flag, but that's one thing and it started last year. Not at all. If you get it, you ain't have to say much or do much, and you can get unsportsmanlike for time.
You didn't hear this, but cut unsportsmanlike off when we kicked off for 24 seconds off kicked off on that return. We got a unsportsmanlike and they got another 15 yards.
Yeah. The wrestling show was starting back up at that time, and you went
because we had him held.
You went out in the hallway so you could hear, and
we had him held at the 15-yard line, and they ended up starting at the 30-yard because of that 15-yard penalty. Because when we stopped them at man, great, they really got to go a lot of yards in 24 seconds. Then they got that 15-yard penalty.
Yeah. No, like I said, it's a big win. Cause you didn't want to go to 0-2 and when you look at the record, we're second place in division game, and you got your 3 of your next 4 division games. So if we can go on a good streak right here, don't get me wrong, it'd be nice to beat Denver as well.
We're probably gonna have to beat Jacksonville.
Yeah,
this year. We may have to, but you never know. They're a young football team. They may be up and down. They may not be. They may have one hell of a year. You just don't know.
And that's the other. I don't know if Jay's still on here, but that's the other thing about that. Next time we play Jacksonville, Jay, is it's going to be an Indy as well. So
but that ain't always made a difference.
Than Jacksonville.
Definitely.
And then that's what I'm saying. If we can get these 2 in a seed, then you have 1 division game left later in the. Yeah, they loaded all of our division. Seven because a lot. Oh, so there we are. All of a sudden, the screen went black. Like, what the hell? But because here lately, it seems like you played most of your division games toward the end of the season, which I know why NFL done that to try to get away where the end of the season games didn't mean nothing, and players were sitting out. So they wanted the division games. So you do see a lot of division games the last couple of weeks of the year, but the Colts I think will have one, and that'll be the Texans because we play the Titans real quick back to back, and the Jags kind of quick. Because like I said, we play the Titans, Broncos, Titans and Jags, or Jags and Titans. And that Broncos game's a Thursday night game, it's going to be a tough. That Broncos defense, man. If our offensive Matt Ryan's it's going to be a long night for Matt Ryan because pressure they were able to get on Garoppolo last night against the San Francisco team. Yeah, but on saying that, in the first half, they did in the second half after off
injury though.
Yeah.
So they're going to be without him. So.
I think they're going to be without him 6 to 7 weeks.
So
San Francisco could be, and then the Chargers, all the injuries they have now, they have like 3 or 4 guys that are going to be out.
Guidance. So
he could be out close to the rest of the season. All right. Yeah. Well, anything else, Colts wise, you want to talk about before we?
What do you think about the game tonight?
I'm going with the Giants. I think.
Where's it at?
New York.
Is that New York?
For sure, it's in New York. I'm gonna check real quick. I'm about positive it's in New York.
Well, the key to the game to me is you can't let Parsons go crazy.
And the Giants can't turn the ball Daniel Jones can't turn the ball over.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he does turn it over, then it goes the pressure. Parsons and them guys.
But I like the way Dayball has this defense playing, and yes, it is in New York. New York's actually 1.5 point favorite in this game at home.
I'm gonna go with the Giants by 3.
Giants are minus 118 on the money line. Cowboys are even money, and the over under is set at 38.5 for tonight's game.
I'm going 2017 Giants.
You're going the same score as the Colts game, but yeah, I think Giants. I said earlier in the afternoon show I didn't give an exact score, but I said the Giants by 3. I do, and we were split. We had two that was with Dallas, and 2 of us that was with the Giants on that show. I think it was me and the stat guy that was both with the Giants, and Mike and Mike and Rob.
Jones has completed 71% of his passes.
Yeah,
season.
and I thrown 1 interception. So that's his big thing is turnovers, not fumbles. But I mean, yeah, he threw some interception, but fumbles was his big thing, man. Getting hit from behind and fumbling the ball.
And a lot of times,
if he can cut back on that,
a lot of times though he was running, and he'd get stripped because he's trying to make a play. And if they can get him to just, hey, play within yourself, I think Jones could do all right. I'm not going to say he's a top 10 quarterback, but I think he could be a winning quarterback still.
And then real quick before we do get out here, it just don't just pertain to the Colts, but the NFL announced today that no more Pro Bowl game. They're going to do a Pro Bowl skills competition thing, and going to be some kind of flag football game in that as well. What's your thoughts on that? I kind of like it because I like the way they do the Pro Bowl now. When they're doing it like the weekend they were doing it before the Super Bowl. A lot of your Pro Bowlers didn't play in the game anyway because if they're in the Super Bowl they don't play, and you get a lot of them that don't want to risk injury and stuff like that. And since they don't play in Hawaii no more, I don't think it would mean as much to a lot of the players because you know what I mean. So I don't have a big problem with it. It'd be interesting to see what it's going to look like this first year. I do know that Peyton Manning has something to do with it, and his Omaha Productions are having. I think that they're the one producing it and stuff. They're having a lot to do with it. So that makes me think that it might be be pretty cool because you never know what Peyton and some of the guys might come up with.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes this first year, but I don't have a problem with it just because I know. When's the last time you watched a Pro Bowl game?
I don't ever watch it. A couple minutes or something.
Yeah.
But it was on ABC years ago.
I haven't watched a Pro Bowl game probably at least.
I'd say
I'd say nine.
If they're smart,
8-9 years.
It should become nothing but a big fan fest. Make it about the fans and make it interactive. Make it fun.
Even have your Pro Bowlers there, signing some autographs and stuff. Fans would love that.
Have a celebrities come in. Make it a big fan thing.
Yeah.
Make it a big PR thing. I think they'd be better doing that than anything.
Kind of do like what WWE does with their WrestleMania Fan Fest thing. You can have people out. You can have the Pro Bowlers out there and do autographs, meet and greets with some of the fans. Like you said, celebrity ball game. People, I know that's softball, but people love that stuff. And you can have some of the former NFL players playing and stuff.
I mean, you can do celebrity flag football.
Yeah, celebrity flag football would be that'd be cool too. I mean, there's one thing I wish they would bring back, and I hope they're going to with the skills challenge was that QB skills competition thing where they would do all the throwing at the targets and all that stuff. I always like that stuff, but to watch the last Pro Bowl game, man, it's been a long time.
So it may have been on when you was a kid, but it wasn't the same. When I was a kid, it was called Superstars, and it was players from all sports, and they did obstacle courses. They did.
Didn't they do like a remake of that later on?
They did a remake Superstars, and then they had Battle of the Network Stars, where they did that was big in the 70s too. And then they tried a remake of that. It was the Superstars. You had football players, basketball players, baseball players, track and field players, and they did all these sports. It was really cool. It was a lot of fun.
I used to always like when they got pros versus Joes.
I remember that.
So, all right. Well, you got anything else, Dad, before we get ready to get out of here for tonight, Friday on Horseshoe Talk, we'll go in more depth on the Tennessee game on Sunday. Hell, who knows? We might have a guest. We'll see what happens throughout this week. Tonight we have Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk at 11 p.m. Eastern night. Join us. We'll go through all the NFL games from over the weekend and talk about the Monday night game tonight. We'll go through me and the Judge picked all the games on Friday's show. We'll maybe go through those and see how our picks was. I haven't went through to see how all of our picks did, but we did give a pick out for each game.
We'll do a watch along Sunday.
Yeah.
The Colts.
Yeah, watch along Sunday for the Colts.
And then big thing Saturday.
Oh yeah, Saturday. If you're a pro wrestling fan, I know it's a football show, but we'll plug it on here because it's a big show. Saturday, Jay County, Indiana, Saturday night, DCCW and the Jay County Fair present Cornfield Carnage. Going to have appearances by WWE Hall of Famer. Is going to be in attendance. Should be awesome, and then also WWE legend, the Boogeyman, who he's
going to be in action.
We've got to see him in person. And then you got all the regular DCCW talent, and then I know there's he's going to be there.
She's been on OVW and AEW, and also the
Ari Alexander.
Yeah, Ari Alexander. She's been on AEW, and I think she's been on OVW also. Another great talented wrestler, Jake Oman.
Yeah, Jake Oman
is going to be there, and like I said, all the DCCW favorites. The highlight reel, one of the best tag teams in Indiana, in my opinion, and Dex Royal, who I think's right up there too. Is going, is one of the best wrestlers in Indiana, and great card.
Got the ladies' man Mike King, JKO will be there.
Yep, they'll have some surprises. I know.
So. The King Mitchell Taylor.
Yep, we'll have some surprises. Yeah. They always put on a great show. Hey, check out. I tell you, check out our YouTube page, and you can check out on Facebook or YouTube. Some of the old shows.
Yeah.
Check out that Bearcat Rumble, man. We had Carlito, and they had Primo and Epico. Great card, great match, and I'm telling you, this one's going to be right along that alley, of a great show. So
it's at the Jay County Fairgrounds, Portland, Indiana, 806 East Votal Street. It's going to be at the Butt Building. Doors open at 6 p.m. Eastern. Bell time starts at 7. There will be a meet and greet and with Mick Foley. That's going to be starting as soon as doors open.
I would suggest it's not guaranteed, but I would get there 5:30, get in line, because I think as soon as they're ready, as soon as Mick gets there, they're going to go ahead and open the doors maybe a little early, possibly, if they can.
I think I saw today there's one VIP table left.
That's $350, but that's for 6 people, and that
includes snacks
and free drinks and snacks, and the drinks include alcohol, beer
and probably maybe wine,
and then also soft drinks. Front row seats, I believe, are gone. They were $50, but there's a handful, not very many. Second and third row seats were $25. But there are some general admission for $15.
And it didn't, from what I don't know how many general admission are left either.
But also that goes up.
Ticket prices go up $5 on day if you buy them at the door.
So, but you can get them online. I think you can. There's certain times if you call the Jay County Fairgrounds, they're open, and that wouldn't be any extra.
Yeah, they're during the day.
I would call
at certain times.
I would call and check those hours out. If you want to get a ticket, you could go over to Jay County.
And you can get them on tickets online at jcountyfair.com to get tickets.
It's going to be a big crowd. It's going to be limited because the building only holds so many. So if you want to go, I'd get tickets, but I guarantee it's going to be a great show.
Oh yeah, it'll be a great show. Then
me and Chris in the last years probably did 30 shows, and DCCW is one of the better groups of shows. I haven't been to a bad one yet. Family friendly for the kids, for the family. They do an outstanding job, so I guarantee you won't be disappointed. And like I said, we're going to be able to have those opportunities to get meet and greets with Mick Foley.
Yeah, I think it's $40 for a picture, $40 for the to have them sign it or get an autograph separate or whatever. Then there's a bundle deal.
Yeah, I think you can get a picture for $40. Or a picture for $40. You can get a a signed autograph for 40. We can get a combo for
Yeah,
60.
something like
He's
that, yeah.
got T-shirts for sale, and he'll sign them for I think 60. He's got other stuff too.
Oh, they're going Funko Pops. There's all
they-
kinds of different things they
They're gonna
have.
have. I think they're gonna have some live auctions.
DCCW has a cool
Yeah.
cornfield carnage T-shirt.
$25, and it's really cool.
I mean, there'll be a lot of different things. Yeah, autographs are 40, pictures are 40. The combo is 60. Then the special item pricing, limited supply, and they're starting pre-order. They were starting pre-orders on that now. You can get a Dude Love Funko Pop signed, $80. Cactus Jack Funko Pop signed for $80.
They've got that. I know they got that one deal with a lunchbox.
Yeah, and then you can get all three faces of Foley Funko, all signed, includes a lunchbox and items, and that's $225. You're getting 3 fun lunchbox.
Yep.
Mick Foley T-shirt, Mick Foley shirt signed, $60. Faces of Foley turnbuckle pads, signed, so you can get a pad. And that's $150 sign. That'd be pretty cool.
That
actually.
would be cool.
Said pictures coming. I haven't seen the picture of the turnbuckle pad yet, but I'm sure I'm sure they're going to be.
You can go to the DCCW website and get all the information.
Yeah, go to Facebook at DCCW Indiana.
Yeah, because there's another DCCW in I think Pennsylvania, if I remember right. So make sure you hit the Indiana one.
Or you can type in Delaware County Championship Wrestling. And it'll take you to the Muncie or take you to the right one. But if you put DCCW Indiana, it'll take you there too as well. Yeah. And you can find out more information at the jcountyfair.com. Yes. Or if you have any questions about it, you can contact us. If I don't know the answer, I can get the answer. If everything goes right, we're going to have the show on sometime this week. Probably air one of the DCCW shows this week as well. Yep. Haven't decided. We haven't talked to the promoter about which one, but he didn't really give me his input, so I haven't really decided which one yet. Yeah. Thought about doing the Harvest Havoc because that has the boogeyman on it. And I thought that would be kind of cool. And it was kind of the same time of the year as this one, about a year ago. But no, it should be a great show. Like Dad said, Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern, we'll be doing a watch along for the Colts game. We'll probably try to start maybe a few minutes early, maybe around 12:45, 15 minutes earlier. So talk about the game, maybe give our picks out before the game. Also, 6 p.m. Eastern, another episode of Horseshoe Talk. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, we'll do our baseball show, Around the Bases. Myself and the stat guy, Dustin Reese, joins me for that. We'll talk about Pujols getting up to 700 home runs. Talk about Judge on his quest to try to get up to 62. Pitchers ain't been pitching to him, which I knew that was going to slow down toward the end of the season, especially against the Red Sox. Red Sox, Yankees rival ain't going to pitch to him. But no, the Colts got a big win yesterday. Got big up against the Titans. We'll break down the Titans game more on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern on the next episode of. Let's see what Glenn said real quick. Does it come with the Nesty plunge? But yeah, excuse me. I appreciate everybody joining us tonight for it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. Also hit the subscribe button on the All Sports All Plays Network's YouTube page as well. Like and follow us on Facebook. Follow us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. You can find the All Sports All Plays Network on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram, all that stuff as well. Make sure you follow them. They got a lot of talented guys over there. I do a afternoon show with them at 1 p.m. Eastern every day, Monday through Friday. We had a great show today. Go check that out. They have a good morning show. Check out Unscripted. Got Jay McLovin, Logan Landers, Frankie Cruz, myself, Rob Scott's on there. They bring in some other guys. But that's Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern, and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can find that on Facebook at Unscripted or on the All Sports All Plays Network on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. I think it's even on the live TV, on the live TV app as well with the All Sports All Plays. So Go check it out. Great group of guys. It's always a fun show. I think I got everything.
I think so.
Like I said, don't forget tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern, here in about 4 hours.
Yeah, under 4.
Come join us, Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk. We got a lot to talk about. We'll cover everything over the weekend. Cover the football games from yesterday. But we appreciate everybody, and we will see you guys next time for another episode of Horseshoe Talk.